Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Resident Rule Breakers. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Camille.
And today's podcast is going to be about episode 507 called Who Will You Be? It was written by Emily Pressley, directed by Amyn Kaderali. That's a new name I haven't seen before for the Resident. We're going to just jump right into discussion here because we've got some thoughts.
Yeah, some very, very strong thoughts. Don't mind us if we start cussing.
Yeah. The first topic, since it was a pretty big plotline in the episode, is AJ's mom. She is declining. She has lung cancer. If you don't, refresher for everybody, because it's been 4 years. It's 4 years into the future. That's official, by the way, because I actually noticed that they had a text message that Devon sent to Leela and later in the end of the episode. And it says Wednesday, November 19th. No year, but Wednesday, November 19th doesn't happen again until 2025. So there's your year date, guys.
Oh my God. You went and researched that.
Yeah. Well, people were wondering. So I'm like, well, maybe I should just figure that out, But yeah, so it's 2025, 4 years into the future. And so she's been dealing with this lung cancer for 4 years. They've done different things and she's declining. She's going to multi-organ failure at this point. Yeah. Her thyroid is messed up. She's having organ system shut down. It's not pleasant. And it's because of her immunotherapy drug. It's helping her stay alive. It's helping keep the cancer from returning or spreading, but it's also attacking her other organs. So she has to make a decision to either go off the drug to stop that or to stay on the drug and keep the cancer from spreading. And I think in the episode, she actually said she wanted to stay on it, but I think AJ was like, maybe you should think about this, so I think this plot line's going to continue further into the season, but he's, AJ's like, I'm not going to give up on you, Mama, whatever the case, I'm not giving up on you. But wonderful acting from Malcolm and from Summer. And she was so proud of AJ, though. Oh, she was so proud of him.
It was cute because she was wanting to take pictures of him during this signing or whatever. So that's when she collapsed. Too.
Yeah. Well, she was already in the hospital, but he was like, I have a treat for you, whatever. And he thought she could handle it. And so he didn't think she was going to stand up on her wheelchair.
Nobody thought that.
No. But Conrad figured out that it was multi-system organ failure at that point. What's if your thyroid's messed up? You get just that one organ alone. It's one little gland.
It's all over the body.
It's all over the body. Yeah. It's not like it's one little thing. Also, they reference the fact that AJ's adoptive father has passed away in the past 4 years, which means Ye Austin has died.
Yep.
Just a little minor reference from AJ and Conrad. And I'm sitting here going, that's all you're going to give us about this storyline? I need more answers. I like this dude. I like his dad. So I need more answers, guys. I'd like to hear more about that one.
I don't know. That just sucked.
I really liked him.
I know. But we're not going to have any more duck Thanksgiving.
I really like that episode. In fact that this is the week of Thanksgiving. We can bring that up.
I know, right?
AJ's mom is declining. And I do like the point that he did tell her, we all, you're going to have to face the fact that you probably will die, but we're going to get through that together too. So I love how wonderful and supportive he is. So he's a good son.
Yeah, he is. It's just sometimes I feel like AJ needs to catch a break.
Oh yes, AJ definitely needs to catch a break, but I love the fact that he is enjoying some of his fame, but he's also having to be a son. So,
yeah.
The next topic, Conrad, Belle and Kit are trying to convince Conrad to come back to Chastain. By the way, no Kit in the episode, but we have a very good-looking stand-in with the name of Randolph
Gigi is the cutest in this episode. When she was like, someone in our group said he only gave her a goldfish. I would have betrayed him too.
I wrote that. I think I wrote this down in my notes. It said, also, who bribes a 4-year-old with one goldfish? You gotta at least do a handful or two, right? You know?
Right. Like, hello, you want payment? You want me to like acting I'm not enjoying this? Shoot. Man, I give you a whole package of goldfish. One goldfish. Who gives kids one goldfish? Like, only one? That's only like one bite. Not even a bite.
And she totally betrays him. Like, I would, yeah. And she's like, I love this Dr. Bell. He's a wonderful preschool tour guide. Very below his pay grade. But for Kit, I guess he'll do anything. No one says no to Kit, apparently. Yeah. And Bell definitely doesn't want to, because that just makes his life difficult. Conrad, he wants to return, but he needs to know that he can be there for Gigi.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like part of the minority, but I feel like, why did they have him leave and be a private practice doctor if we never even saw him?
No, I agree with you.
Practice doctor, or he went back to Chastain 2 episodes later. Like, we didn't even get to see him.
I agree with you.
Really.
I see, because I'm sitting here going, I understand the premise of what they were trying to do with the work-life balance, him being private practice and everything. And Belle's like, all you're doing is giving B12 shots to people with hangover. I'm like, they do more than that, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, for real, what was the point of him even going to private practice if there was like no storyline really there?
Yeah, we needed more, because that would have been a good premise for the show to show.
Yes, that would have been. I would have loved to see his like new office or whatever he does as a private practice doctor. Mm-hmm. He spent more time at Chastain than his own office in the past.
But yeah, I would have. I mean, I understand he. I don't know how the show is going to show the work-life balance. I know they have the preschool and everything, but once Gigi's in school, that's a totally different ball game. And not only that, but like, he still needs his weekends, he still needs his evenings. I don't know. I hope they show it to where but they always show their jobs overtake their lives. So I don't know how they're going to do it.
I know.
That's my only concern with this whole thing, is that Gigi's going to be forgotten.
Yep.
And I don't want that, because he's such a good dad. There are photos of showing him where she's sitting there at like the nurse's desk or whatever while he's working or whatever.
It's so cute.
But I don't know. I will see how they do it. It is my main concern. But yeah, I'm in a criticism that, maybe him having privileges and coming in and out of the hospital was a better idea.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how Kit and Belle allow Conrad to have his evenings and weekends, but whatever. Now we're going on to Trevor. Trevor, after finishing medical school in the last 4 years, has started his internship at Chastain, and he's just as cocky as you remember him to be. And an ass.
He reminds me of like Conrad.
Oh, early Conrad, like pilot Conrad. Early AJ as well. There's a lot of early memories of early AJ before he humbled himself some.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were like, they didn't like Trevor, whatever. And I get that, because he was a jerk. And as Devon said, he broke every rule in the book, essentially. Yep. Like talking about patients like they're invisible in front of them. And
then like kind of like tricking the
alcoholic
patient to drinking or something.
Mm-hmm. And assuming that this person has a disease. I mean, he had no clue that she wasn't actually out.
He did. Well,
he did, but just to assume and say it to her face. That was kind of rude.
Yeah.
So Devon was very unimpressed with him and tried to cut him. Conrad's like, I gave you some slack too, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they kind of like put, like, did a flashback sort of the pilot when Devon did the CPR on the girl for 30 minutes and stuff.
Yeah, that's a big part of the pilot. Like, and the girl's brain dead, and
it was a big part of the whole season 1.
Yeah. But Devon's like, yeah, my first day was not easy either. And it took Conrad for him to tell him, to remind him of that. But here's the thing. Conrad says Devon's issue was empathy. Like he wanted to help. He wanted to be there. Trevor doesn't have that. He's just got all this ego and arrogance, and it's in the way. And
yeah,
it makes him very unlikable. You couldn't really see that until now. And I don't know, it's not AJ. It's got to be something that's nature versus nurture. It's got to be some type of nature thing that I hate to say is inherited from Billie, but maybe he did. She was arrogant.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, call me crazy, but I understood where understood where he was coming from. Cause like, okay, how do I say this? It is very, very difficult sometimes for me to hear like Conrad be critical of another doctor or whatever, or for breaking any rules, because that's what he's known for, is breaking rules. Yeah, and he gets away with it. You know what I mean? And people praise him for it. The whole show is about like breaking the rules of the system.
I mean, that's why the podcast is called what it's called.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there going like, do you really have a place to talk? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, and I do get it, because that's the whole premise, is that Conrad breaks the rules of the system to help the patients. I get it. I mean, we didn't call it resident rule breakers for nothing. So yeah, I do get it. But I do, in this episode, one of my cheering moments was Devon. I cheered for Devon. I was like, yes, Devon, that's exactly the point. And I was actually cheering for him when he said, you can't do this, Trevor, But I think he saw the error of his ways too, and it's like, I've got to give him a second.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think Trevor does have at least some future. You know what I mean?
I mean, they promoted him to a main character. There's obviously going to be some type of future. So he's going to be taken under more of Conrad's. Conrad's going to try to take him under his wing and share some things coming into the future. We're going to talk about upcoming plot lines soon. Just not right now.
So many plot lines.
Yeah. My main question is, will under Conrad, and hopefully Devon too, definitely still AJ, learn how to be humble, learn humility, and to listen to the patient, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that he admitted to Billie that medical school wasn't as easy as he said it was. He wasn't. I mean, he admitted it to her. And Billie, she's in therapy and it's really helping her big time. She's let some of her stuff go, but she did write the letter for Trevor to get his internship. So, and Trevor has no clue. So she doesn't claim him to be her son, but yet she still cares. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, like she was. We find out that she was the one who recommended him to come to Chastain. I had a feeling it would be him. It would be her.
Yeah, and she's like, 1, you can't tell people I'm your mom. 2, you can't have money. And there was some rules or something that she's like, well, you're definitely setting boundaries. That means you've been in therapy. It's like, yeah, she has to, because she's like the chief of surgery.
Here's my question though: has he has she told him yet, like how he was conceived?
I don't, everything the way it's done, I don't think he knows. It doesn't seem like it.
She needs to let him know.
Yeah, I think there's more coming. We haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah, she needs to let him know. I mean, is he still curious about his dad?
I don't know.
Or whatever. So, I mean,
but right now he's not even serious about having a relationship with her.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's gonna play out. We've got quite a few episodes down to deal with here. Yeah. Okay. This is the storyline at the beginning of the podcast. We kind of were referencing that we were anger about, and Leela and her sister Padma get a visit from their parents, and it doesn't go so well, which I predicted before any of this ever aired. So yeah, I was cheering for Leela the entire time.
I was so pissed off at the parents. Okay, here's the thing: you're disabled. We're disabled. Mm-hmm. I'm disabled.
You're disabled. I mean, I am too, and I do feel the effects of it, but it's different for me.
I am so. Okay, let me explain. How do I say it without wanting to cuss people out? There's a lot of things going on in my head, and a lot of it says it's cuss words. The disabled community can do almost anything that an able-bodied person can do.
Yes.
We just do it differently.
Yeah.
Like, I can go to this, we can walk around the block. You're going to be walking with your 2 feet. I'm going to use my wheelchair, but we'll still be going around the block.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I
mean, it's like, because I have restrictions on like food that I can't eat, right? Like I can't.
But you can still eat.
Yes. Like I can't drink caffeine. I just can't have coffee.
A disabled person can be a doctor. They just have to change, do whatever. Like, for example, one of my favorite TV shows was The Little Couple.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. She's a doctor, yeah.
Yes, she's a doctor. She's a freaking Neo, the newborn, preemie baby.
Yes.
Doctors.
Neonatal baby.
Yeah. And she's a little person. Shoot, some of the babies look like they're bigger than her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuff like that.
There, like I said, there's no limitations on disabled. Like, there's no limitations on disabled person can do.
Unless they let their disability get in the way of it.
Yes, and what is wrong with the parents?
Like, Leela has tried so hard, because dyslexia affects how she learns everything. Yeah. And she's fought tooth and nail to be able to get through med school, to get through her residency, which is in her last year of. I mean, she's fought really hard. And she's got a wonderful boyfriend who is supportive and there for her. And he's a doctor himself, so he gets it. And so Leela has a lot of stuff going for her, and Devon understands her disability, and he helps her with it, I think. I love that connection between them from the get-go.
Yep.
But I do believe that maybe Padma and Devon are the only 2 people in her life that really support her.
Well, she hasn't really told any of the other doctors at Chastain. I'm sure they would be supportive of her too if she told them. Yeah, but she fights really hard. She has coping mechanisms and drawings and stuff like that to deal with it. And if she was going to kill someone, she would have done it by now. Exactly.
Yeah. So sorry. Not an excuse.
The parents. And then here's the thing: they're her parents. Like we've talked about this before in the Hallmark podcast. How like parents, a lot of times kids just want the parents to say, I'm proud of you or something like that.
Yeah, that's all Leela wants.
Yeah. They don't need a lecture. They don't need like, whatever.
Dude, and she deserves it. She's gotten through 4
Yeah.
years of college, 4 years of med school, and now she's in her final year of residency. Dude, this girl deserves it. Sorry.
I bet you she would tell you that she doesn't need it. She doesn't need them to say I'm proud of you. But there is that natural want or natural like need for like validation from your family. You know what I mean? It comes naturally from people and stuff like that. And so I know she probably has that too. And it's frustrating me to no end that that her parents had zero respect for her.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Her sister had leukemia as a child, and it made her sterile. She's like, I have a chance to be able to have a freer life and not have all this restrictions, and they're not on me about things like having babies. Which, by the way, list parents, if your child doesn't want to have a baby, don't force it. Sorry. It's not your prerogative to say, oh, I want grandbabies. Sorry. It's up to the person that has the babies, okay?
If you want a baby so badly, go have a baby yourself. Right? Oh, because your tubes are tied? Okay, well then that's your problem.
There's a thing called adoption.
Okay, well that's your problem.
If you want to, I mean, there's a thing called adoption and fostering.
Yep.
There's tons of kids out there who would kill to have a parent, okay?
Yeah.
Just saying, but Leela's not ready to have a baby yet.
No.
Not ready. She wants to finish her residency, and rightfully so. I don't blame her.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I sat there and went, I just was doing this number at Leela the entire time. And I was like, go, Leela, go. And she's like, I'm going back to my apartment that I share with my boyfriend. Yes, I live with my boyfriend. I'm like, after as long as her and Devon have been together, she finally revealed that she was living with him. Seriously, there's nothing wrong with it. No. I was just like, you go, girl. But yeah, I have a feeling.
I just hated her parents.
Yeah, I didn't like them either. I love her sister, but I hate her parents.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything from this episode. Other than a few one-liners from Nolan to bring some humor into it. I love seeing Michael Hogan as always.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Okay,
we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's upcoming in ratings and stuff like that. The ratings for this episode were actually a teeny bit higher than 5.6, so 302 with a 0 for demo. That's pretty steady and pretty good, so I'm pretty happy to see that the ratings are still very steady. What is coming up? Okay, this coming Tuesday is 5.8, Old Dogs New Tricks, and the podcast release is on the 29th for 5.8. Kit hires a surgical coach to watch Belle and the Raptor and help them brush up on their skills. Conrad gets attention from multiple women in the hospital, and he contemplates dating.
Oh my goodness.
And Devon helps an elderly couple. So, and again, it's been 4 years, people, since Nick passed away. So saying it's too soon, maybe for us, but not for Conrad. So
yeah,
I will say that again. Till the end of time. Just look at Gigi. She's not a baby anymore. As Conrad specifically says in this episode, she says she's not a baby anymore. Guest stars in this episode, we have Tasso, we have Jessica, we have Denitra, Vince Foster, Stephen Wallen's returning as Winston, Remy's in it as Gigi, and then we've got Anna McKenzie, who's Mary, and she's the lady that's over the preschool in the hospital.
I'm excited to see that more of Conrad coming back to Chastain. I wonder what he like. Will he be like? I know he's an internal medicine thing, but what will his like? Will he be like just director or
I don't know, because like Devon doesn't like in Devon internal medicine too, and they says attending on his like I'm like
emergency or no?
yeah, well I guess Devon could be emergency room, I guess like Irving's emergency room too. So
Yeah.
but yeah, like and even AJ was questioning Conrad's skills if they. I'm like Conrad's like the best diagnostician like in Atlanta. You don't mess with Conrad Hawkins. Anyway, so 5'9", we finally got a press release for 5'9" and for 5'10". We're going to talk about that too. 5'9" is called He'd Really Like to Put in a Central Line. It airs November 30th. The podcast for 5'9" will release on December 6th. And it says all hands are on deck in the emergency room on November 30th when Conrad takes Trevor under his wing to care for a patient whose good luck seems to have run out. Leela struggles when given the decision to take full responsibility of her indecisive patient's life. And the Raptor continues to try to figure out a care plan for his mother, while Devon and Kid are stretched far too thin, trying to balance everything on their plates. So it looks like a very jam-packed episode that we're going to be having.
Yep.
Guest stars in this one, we have Michael Hogan's back, Tasso, Jessica Denitra, Skylar Day is going to turn back as Nurse Clara. She's the nurse that Nick helped quite a bit. Yep. Anisha's back as Padma. Vince Foster's in this one, and then of course Remy's in the episode as Gigi. So they did say she would be heavily recurring, and they are right. And then 5'10", which is the mid-season finale, or they call it the winter finale, airs December 7th. Our podcast for that will release December 13th, and it's called Unknown Origin. Notable guest stars for this episode are Michael Hogan, Tasso, Jessica Denitra, Vince Foster. Kaylee Ronayne makes her first appearance as Dr. Kincaid Sullivan. That's her name. She is a potential love interest for Conrad. Stephen Wallum's returning as Winston. Anna McKenzie will be back, and so will Remy, who plays our ever-loved Gigi. And of course, this one says that Conrad takes on a new challenge. And it's when the first day of Kit's experimental flight go team program sends Conrad out into the field. He builds a new relationship with a fellow doctor. That's Kaylee Ronayne's character, by the way, along for the ride. Devon works with Trevor for the first time on a patient with a mysterious fever, the cause of which can't be found. Belle is hiding a secret from the whole staff, and they are starting to become suspicious. What secret could Belle be hiding? That's what people are questioning.
I know. I hope it's not a shaky hand again.
Maybe it's a proposal.
That is weird.
I mean, it's a mid-season finale, and there was an article, I'm guessing, from one of the other sites that were saying it might have a big cliffhanger in it. So I wouldn't be surprised. This is what the Resident pulls. They want you to watch. So I wouldn't be like, remember season 2 had the huge cliffhanger at the end of the mid-season finale? We just discussed this right before the season returned. So yeah, I wouldn't be half surprised that there's a cliffhanger on 5'10", especially if there's a potential love interest introduction. Belle has a secret. There could be a multitude of things that are going on here. So we'll see what happens. 5'11" will be air. That's the winter premiere in February. So we have a 7-week gap between December 7th and February 1st without an episode. Camille's going to need it. Here's the thing. She's going to have surgery, which means she can't talk for at least 2 weeks. We don't even know when the surgery is going to be because you haven't scheduled it yet. And we still got a lot of stuff to deal with between now and then Christmas. Lots of Christmas movies from Hallmark Horror Meets, and we're going to discuss that in a moment. But yeah, we've got a lot going on, and she's going to need the time to recover. So we're actually okay with this break in the airing schedule. Hopefully you will have had your surgery and completely recovered.
I hope so too. I'm like doubting. I'm terrified of it. I'm like debating on how much I actually want this surgery.
I mean, it's right there at your vocal cords. I mean, it's anything. But hopefully, if everything goes to plan, by the end of January, we should return the week prior to the premiere and give you a rundown on everything that's come out in the 7-week time span. So, because there's going to be a lot of material between then and so I think it's necessary to do that. So we'll be back starting January 24th. That'll be our podcast after December 13th. So yeah, it's just to give time for Camille and everything. So rest for holidays and stuff like that. We're going to talk about Hallmark Heartbeats because we're busy.
Yeah, pray for us. Okay, so for those who haven't checked us out yet, go on. We're doing 2 podcasts. We have this one, and Kayla has joined me on my other podcast, Hallmark Heartbeats, where we talk about Hallmark movies, and we do like 3 to 4 podcast episodes a week.
That's on top of the one you're listening to.
Huh?
I said that's on top of The Resident. Yeah.
Mostly because Hallmark is doing 4 movies a week.
Except for this one.
Yeah, next week, Thanksgiving week, is 8 movies. 8 movies. And then we have interviews. So we have an interview coming out.
Nikki Deloche.
A really, really big Hallmark star. Yeah. So, but bring tissues when you go.
When you watch that movie. Yes.
and when you listen to the interview, because
and also we're talking about Christmas movies here, guys. There's a Resident connection. He was not on a Hallmark channel, but Lifetime channel is airing their Christmas movies. And our very own friend of the Resident Rule Breakers, Stephen Reddington, who played our beloved Bradley, is going to be in a movie on Lifetime, Kurt Franklin's Gospel Christmas. It'll air December 4th at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. So Steven, if you follow him, he posts the promo or whatever, and I put it in the group so you can see it. So go support Steven. So if you want to see what Steven's up to, you can go see him in a Christmas movie. So there's that as well. If you want to support the Resident Rule Breakers, we have a Patreon account, and same thing with Hallmark Heartbeats. It has a Buy Me a Coffee. These accounts are very similar to each other in the fact that they help fund the podcast, I guess.
Yep.
And so the Patreon it's patreon.com/The Resident Podcast. As little as $1 a month will get you early access to the podcast, graphics that we make, and other things like that. Early news of things that we're doing, stuff like that. So you get everything before everyone else. Let's just put it like that. Same thing with the Buy Me a Coffee for Hallmark Heartbeats. It's she posts like unedited interviews and stuff like that over there. That the money goes back to the podcast. And for the Resident Rule Breakers, right now it's Kayla needs a replacement laptop fund.
I have not. She doesn't have a secret Santa like I do.
No, these computers are pretty much our lifelines to giving you what you're listening to, and so I do need one. This thing's a good 5-6 years old at this point, so needs to be replaced. So, want to help a girl out, make my Christmas happy? Go to
laptop.
Yeah,
that's what you say.
Yeah, there's ways that you can support us on social media too. We have a Facebook page, which is the Resident Rule Breakers podcast. You can see all the news that are about upcoming episodes and the podcast and everything are all posted on there. The group, which we've mentioned before, it's in the Facebook group, the Resident Fox fans. If you're not in it, there are questions. Please answer all of them or we will not let you in.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's a lot of information in that group. Yeah, we have our Instagram, which is at the Resident Podcast. All the photos and everything are posted there as well. And then Camille has at the Resident on Fox Fans, and I'm at KB Country 37. And then, of course, we have our Twitter, which is at Resident Podcast. And I do live tweet from there every episode air day. So have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving.
And eat turkey.
Yeah. And
if you have a dog, like
Don't feed.
Google, like what you can and can't eat. Feed
Yeah.
your dog what's safe or what's not safe. Don't feed them bones. Bad.
Yeah, bad.
You can share some turkey meat with them, but not bones and stuff. But yeah.
Have a wonderful, happy, safe Thanksgiving.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. And we'll be back next week with Old Dogs in the Future.